Sometimes I wonder, are we so far in this too deep? Is there a way out? Um, you know, and it's just things I think about, because I think as long as we stay at a level of what we're doing, they're okay with us complaining. And I thought our best shot at making any progress would have been probably during the civil rights movement. And look where we are today. We may be in a worse situation now because we're so far deep after they stacked on crime bills, drugs in our neighborhoods. They started heavily redlining, stripping all the money and resources out of our neighborhoods and schools, to where we're left now only to fight for scraps. They always say, a man that feeds you can also starve you. And we have gotten so dependent upon somebody feeding us, the minute they decide to start rationing things of smaller and smaller rations, to it's now we're fighting each other. It sucks because our people got conquered. It sucks to admit that. But at the same time, it's okay. Because when you even look at history, we know this is only temporary, and that our rise is right at our fingertips, but reorganizing is important, but that starts with yourself and understanding you and understanding how to fight your battles and understanding how to fight this battle. Winning starts in a whole nother dimension in your mind before it ever comes into the physical. So you gotta see yourself in a better situation and pull it into this reality. They would call that, spirituality. Primarily, I study occult science and Jewish mysticism, because it's our science that's being used, and it's being used now to manipulate the world. Literally everything. How they design Washington, D.C. is based on a black mind. Our healthcare system is based on a black mind. Everything at the root of it is, if you know your history. So, the importance of knowing it is not just to know it with a sense of pride, it's to see your greatness and be able to do that again and again and again and again. And people will say, well, what happened, to black people, African people, indigenous, however you want to define yourself back then. When you reach perfection, it's like cancer. When it reaches its perfection, the host dies. And we died a spiritual and conscious death. In a sense, when, let's just use the main hub of Africa and Kemet area, Egypt, because there's a reason why they want to control that area so much, because that was the pinnacle of the most documented civilization in the world. And it housed all the universities that people came to, and they took our knowledge and then took it to their part of the world and act like they did it and remixed it. So be very mindful of that. But this is just a little history. I'll go deeper into that and what I think was going on. But by the time African black people fell from power, we were already ancient people. Kemet was already ancient. So when they started documenting things on walls, Egypt was already at a decline. It was already in a major decline. And there could be a reason for why they started documenting things on walls, because they probably couldn't retain the information in their mind anymore. And they knew that this information would be needed in the future and that we can reclaim it, even if someone else has it. This is why damn near every nation of people is digging over there in Northeast Africa. This is why they want to control Israel. This is why they created the Middle East and all these different places, to erase history. They do the same thing here in America to this day. So where I'm going with this is, you got to understand your nature. The problem is, it's hard to understand you when you've been in a system that has never told you, cultivated you properly. That goes into what I was talking about, culture. Black people, white people, and I'm using these even though those are, caste, but I'm trying to relate to everybody right now. Black people and white people share a culture. And until black people redefine what their culture really is, I'm not talking what we doing musically, and sports, none of that. I'm talking purely on an educational and spiritual basis. Until we redefine that, we will have a very hard time trying to conquer these people, because we worshiping the same religions, going to the same school systems, eating the same foods, and following the same dietary plans as people that have shown you that they will spend whatever it takes and create whatever they need to wipe you out. So yeah, this shit is deep, man. It's painful, but it's the reality. The cult side of me wants to say, focus on you, because the way to beat them is up in here. It's in your soul. You could tap into a place they can never tap into in a quantum realm. The only thing they can do is create physical things like CERN colliding atoms together, creating gamma rays. That's about you, your story. All they can do is sit in the lab and collide gamma rays, trying to tap into a different dimension, because they can't reach that. But you can. The ancients was telling us these things. The only thing real in this world is your mind. Control that first. Don't let them control you. That's where you lose. You ain't gonna beat them with a gun. That's their science. Your science is your magic, your mind, the quantum realm. You'll never be able to make a better gun than them. That's their science. That's how they use to conquer the world. Can't beat them that way. But where you can beat them is in your mind. Cultivating that first. But I'm going to dive more into those teachings and stuff. But I'm going to teach on this human side of shit for right now, before I really dive into some shit that's going to go deep. But I'm going to make it very relevant today in the juxtaposition of different things that we see. But I just wanted to drop that on y'all real quick. I'll tap in with y'all soon. Peace.